Hello. I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the wrong button and was listening to myself. It's gonna be a chill one today. It's not gonna be super long. 2 hours at most. So we're gonna really speed run some Monster Hunter today. And then do a bit of Live2D. For some reason my stream deck is not working. So I'm doing everything manually. Did it again. So it'll take me an extra second to get everything set properly today. It was kind of a long day today. Had a busy day. Ooh, there were so many customers, and my my hours are permanently extended on Mondays. For now. So I have like an extra hour and a half at work now, which is nice personally, because I went back to my old hours of only 3 days a week. But man, pretty exhausting for a first day back. First day of the longer hours. There were so many more customers than usual. So I think I put on the stream schedule that I'm going to be streaming on Wednesday. That is not correct. I will not be streaming on Wednesday. The one in the Discord is correct, but the one on social media is not correct. I have something that I'm doing that day, so I won't be streaming. I'm working an extra shift, but also have like an actual thing that I'm doing. I probably won't know anything about that. Well, I probably won't say anything about that until it happens, but oops. Sorry. I pressed the wrong thing. I won't say anything about that until it happens because I don't know how it's gonna go. But it's something more so for me, anyways. Something to get me hanging out with other people. Trying new things.
How you doing?
How you doing? And then hopefully, having something new for stream. Activity-wise. Homo pelt. Wasn't I gonna do a new one? Of these? Can't remember which one it was. I don't know. I'll figure that out later. I can't remember what I was gonna do outfit-wise. I mean, I liked the goth boots, but... Legigana. Right. I was trying to make... a weapon. The new one of this. Yes. Anjnath Bang. Right. Okay, so I have to do that. We're gonna do a couple of those, and if we don't get them, then that's something for next time. I'm sure it'll be fine, though. I didn't actually look what monsters were there. It doesn't tell me on the map, right? Hulu Yaku. And Jagras. The third one, though. I might as well just return. There's no way. There's no way I would have enough time on their expedition. I should do, quest. A hunter quest. For it. Investigation.
Hey, partner.
That way, too, I can go kind of far out on it. Oops. Whoa. My throat just, like, closed up there. Oh. These are too small. These are probably Karachi. Of course it's raining again, too. Oh, I tried playing some comp in Marvel Rivals. There's a guy down there. Whoa. And I have not been doing great. And I don't necessarily think it's my fault, because 2 out of 4 of my first matches, 3 people locked in DPS, and then I locked in a support, and then the next person to lock in their character also locked in a DPS. And then the last person did a tank. And then one of the other people switched to another support, but we still had like 3 DPS in one tank. There it is. That's bronze for you. Oh. You don't know where I am. take some Jagras. Just insta-killed that Jagras, by the way. Literally what? Oh. Road. That's what you get. Messing with me. Come on. The nice thing was, I think, I got SVP for most of those rounds. So I at least knew I wasn't doing terrible. I had some real bad moments, though. And there were some moments where, like, we just weren't getting out of there, you know? We were outmatched. Outgunned. Outmatched. Is that a fish? Can I capture that? I got one. Got one. Oh, honey. I don't need any more. Okay. Here we go. Going up to the edge now. Hi, honey. Almost had it. Shock trap. Let's go. No! I still hit it. No, no. Okay. Oh, okay. It's raining. Roll, 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 roll. Please, 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 please. Nailed it. Missed it. One more time. No! And I hit the light trap. Unfortunate. Oh, yeah! I got it on the run. That's good enough for me. Material. Scale. Would have been nice if it was a fang, but okay. stop rolling. That's not what I wanted. No, why the hell? I did it. Nope, that was bad time. I'm dead. Yeah. It locked me in there. It squared me off in that corner. Let's do some stamina. Oh god, 20 minutes? Yeah, it wasn't really that long. I had like a 10 minutes that I was doing like nothing. Literally nothing. Just literally just getting the stream ready. Hello? Can I run? Did you ping? No. Kind of on purpose, but it's whatever. Hello? Why did it... Literally, why did it do that? When I get you. Huh? Oh, I thought that was it. These are freaking Jagras. I'm only gonna be streaming for like 2 hours today anyways. Give me a short one. After I finish this Anjanath hunt, I'm gonna see how many fangs I have. And then I'm gonna switch over to Live2D. Do a little bit of model rigging. Got you.
The monsters are fighting each other? Maybe we can use this to our advantage.
No, don't leave. Don't leave. I just got here. Don't set it up right there. Hit the tree. Hit the tree. Hit the tree. Hit the tree. Come hit the tree. Or entirely avoid the tree. Please stand up. Bad place to stand. Bad place to stand. Dodge. Oh, stop setting that right in my face. Oh my god. Nope, I'm dead. Dodge, dodge, please dodge. Hello? I was not that close. I have to. Forget that I'm on fire. No! Tail Rider left me. Oh, that's fine. Waste of my stamina though. On my way. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. I might roll into a slide. What was I talking about? No, don't shoot the little guy. I knew that was gonna happen. What? What? Where am I? Oh. Just pissed at me, huh? Big dino. That was the worst move I could have done. But that's what I had. Don't get jumped on again. Please dodge. Need to heal. Just dodging noises, you know. That was pretty good. I know it's out of my range. I love that it's like it's sneezing almost. No, no. Don't get distracted. There's another monster here now. Don't fuck me up. I fucking hate you. Don't do it. Don't do it, you fat bastard. Huh? It's running. Okay. Dude. The frickin' Jagras always jumping in, making things difficult for me. Why are you all stampeding towards me? Hello? Hello? Don't do all that. No parkour. I don't want parkour. Just give me the footprint. Jagras always has to, like, get in my fight. And then, it doesn't even distract the monster that I'm hunting. It always comes after me. For what reason? Just to be annoying? Rare. Okay. I did it again. I wish when it was rare you could recook it, but just make the timing more difficult, you know? For the minigame. I was talking about Marvel Rivals. I played a little bit more comp. I'm only halfway through my placements, though. Like I said, the first 4 were garbage. Don't mess this up for me. Literally, don't mess this up for me. I fucked that up. He turned to me so fast. No, no. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I can't faint 3 times. Don't do it. That's my palico. Oh god! I'm on fire. Oh, nailed it. Stress. Stress, dude. Nose bone. Give me a fang. It's already been 30 minutes. I should swap. Literally leave me alone. Literally leave me alone. Alright. Let me see. Hello? What is this? What is this? Stop it. Why was it doing there? No, that's not anything important. Okay. Take on. Can't believe I didn't get a fang. I did faint 2 times. That's fair. That's fair. Alright, we're gonna switch. Ooh. Live2D. I was hoping I could get one the first time. That's okay. I'm gonna switch. Nice. Such a long day, dude. Such a long day. Oh, that means I can't go to the library. I was just thinking about my hour changes, and I just realized because it's like hour and a half later than before, I can't really go to the library anymore after work if I wanted to. Dang. Excellent. Sorry. Talking about being set up. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Ba-bum. I have not touched this actually since the last time I worked on it, which means that some of the meshes are actually still bad. And then some of the meshes are still bad. Oh no. No. That means I am not where I thought I was in general. Okay. Mm. Oh, damn it. That's okay. Hold on. Ugh. I'm gonna have YouTube on the side. Oop. Oh, I guess I don't need actually that one. Yeah. I do this. Okay. Whoops. Um. Do 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 do. Sorry. Hold on. I'm setting stuff up. I think this should be a transition over to.
Never
There.
mind. I think I'm confessing to a crime on accident.
Sorry, I was watching the last little bit of a curly clip that popped up, and I needed to see it. What am I gonna put on? What am I gonna put on for video? What video? Hold on. What video? Hmm. Mhm. Um, um, hmm. I thought I was gonna have something to watch, but I feel like I'm not. I feel like I don't have anything. We'll watch some Gabby. Oopus. I already watched this, but I wasn't really paying attention, so I'm gonna put it on.
Yes, there we go. Perfectly centered.
Oh,
Oh, how nice. Hi, everyone. Welcome
there we go.
back to another book talk. We're going to round up what I've read in...
And there's no Subaru I
Yes,
picked
I
both
say
yet
as we are at the
for
start
the
of
month.
July.
That's not till the end of the
I'm
month.
more on time this time, so yay. Happy with that. I read 10 books for last month. I definitely am slowing down for this next month, though, so I might not be able to do one for next month, depending on how the rest of the month go, but it's the 8th now, and I've only read one book so far, so I might have to mash the next 2 months together again, but we'll see. It depends. I don't know yet how much I'm going to be able to read. Oh, actually, no. Wait. Sean's traveling again later this month.
I'm sorry to
so
say,
maybe
I hate it.
I'll get
Actually,
way more books in again.
I hate all of this.
Anyway,
These
I started with The Fisherman, John Langan. Finally, I've heard so much about this book.
the piece
Didn't
of this rig
disappoint, but it was
actually
also
that I've
not
done so
as
far.
exciting as I hoped it would be. It is a really good book. It has a really good payoff, but fair warning, it's quite depressing. It's about two men and how they deal with their loss and how they process their grief over multiple years. It gets a bit confusing because it deals with these two men and their grief, but then they start listening to someone telling them a story about this lake where they shouldn't go fishing. They can decide for themselves, but the guy is warning them not to go fishing there. And then he tells the story of a priest from ages ago, hundreds of years ago. So I thought that was kind of like crazy. I was like, okay, so we're following this fisherman who's listening to a bar guy who heard the story from a priest, and then it goes into that story for like 100 pages.
We'll just work on meshing because I need to redo a lot of the meshing on this.
Long time. So pacing wise, there were a lot of moments where I was
I need
like,
to adjust my mic. Hold on.
okay, I get it. Like nothing is really happening. It does escalate and it does have a cool payoff, so it is worth it, but just fair warning that it is quite slow burn and it deals with grief a lot, so it might be a little depressing for some people. For me, 7 out of 10. Like, I wouldn't really recommend it to people to read. If you like Lovecraftian stuff, then there's a hook there for you. And maybe it was a bit overhyped for me, but it wasn't quite.
I can't zoom with that.
If that makes sense. So I did really enjoy it. I think it got picked up for a movie, so definitely interested in a movie. I think that'll be very interesting. I think as a movie, it'll be awesome. Yeah. But I can see why people like it. It's definitely a good story to get lost in. Then I completely changed it up. This was actually from my wheel, so completely random pick. I've had this book for a long time, Cold Storage, which actually is a movie, and I embarrassingly, for like the first 100 pages, didn't even realize I've seen the movie. Well, I've seen half the movie. Sean got really bored with it, so we had to turn it off. got this book and I didn't put two and two together that they were the same story until a certain like scene happened in the book, and I'm like, oh, I've seen this. I think the movie might be a little on the weaker side.
Oh,
Like,
yes, I'm genius.
amazing,
Sorry.
like
I just figured out how to scroll with my
so I would definitely
tablet on
recommend
here.
the book. If you like the angle of the movie and you've heard about the movie but you didn't really like it, then the book might be more fun. It gets really crazy. It's basically this
Can I mirror
super
mesh?
dangerous virus got put in cold storage, hence the name of the book.
I don't want to. I don't.
Ages ago in the 80s, I think, and then in like this super secure underground bunker because it needs
It'll get a
cold
little bit more
temperatures to be like
natural movement
slow
to
down
be
the virus.
independent.
So they keep it there in like this cave bunker, but then presidents change, bunker kind of gets forgotten, it gets sold and gets changed into just like a storage unit that you can rent. Like you can rent a little unit, one of those places. It gets completely forgotten, and then global warming, the cave heats up, the virus is gonna get out. And then these two employees who work at the storage place kind of have to like deal with it as like government starts meddling as well, trying to like contain it. I really like the concept. I had a good time with this book, and I think it's much better than the movie. It's definitely on the lighthearted side, even though it gets quite gory. I hope I'm selling it in a right way. But I did really enjoy this, and it made me want to watch the movie properly. So I started the movie again, and then got sleepy, so I turned it off again after half an hour, so I still haven't seen the movie. Maybe next time Sean's away, I'll try and finish it. Then around this time, the hype for Backrooms was huge, so I kept seeing posts on Instagram to be like, if you like the Backrooms, read these books. And this one kept being mentioned as like a Backrooms book, but I'm like, it's not really Backrooms though. But yeah, what's the link? So this book is actually from the 80s or 90s. It's a little older, which was really shocking to me because it's really well written. Like, you know how some older books you can kind of feel its age, like the writing is maybe a little stiff, but this one felt like it could have been released like in the last 5 years. So it's about a guy who finds a black hole in a storage room in his building that he lives in. So there's just this like janitor closet, storage closet that no one gives a shit about, and him and a friend, they find this random black hole in the storage closet and no one else knows about it. So I liked the start of it the most. They start experimenting, they start putting stuff near the hole and then throwing little bits in, like they try like a mouse. I won't say much more, but yeah, they throw random shit in and then try and see what happens with it. That was the most fun part for me. It does get quite like, I really like it. You can see it has won awards for it. I totally see why. But it's not so much about the whole as it's about what it does to them mentally, living close to it and interacting with it. They try and like stay away from it, but they just can't. They keep being drawn to it and they want to know more about it. And then, but they never really like groupies and fans emerge, like because the word gets out slowly and more people get involved, but no one actually like goes in or anything. So it doesn't really answer any questions if that's what you want. Just putting it out there right now. But it's more about like this mysterious hole and what it does to them having that hole there. It's all
Why
about
did I
like
do that?
on a mental level, I think, what it does to them psychologically. So it's still very interesting and really well written. But yeah, I really wish they went down the hole. I want to know what's in there, you know? So I was left a little bit unsatisfied in that regard. It's also a little bit of a gross book. Like, I don't know, how do I explain this? God, it's a really hard book to explain. I think I was grossed out by it because of the people around the hole and what they did. And some of the sexual aspects with the hole. It gets weird, let's say that. If you like a book that's like built around a weird phenomenon, like where the fuck does this black hole go? We have no idea. If that sounds intriguing to you, then it might be the book for you. But it is fucking weird. I don't know why this would be Backrooms. If they went down the hole and then that was like a Backrooms dimension, then I get it. They do put a camera down it at one point. That was really fascinating. So, yeah, I did really like it. It's like a book where I'm like, I'm kind of weirded out. I'm kind of grossed
think
out.
that worked.
But also, this book is going to stay with me
Alright,
for
I
a
gotta
long
make
time.
more
Does that
adjustment.
make sense? Really good. But yeah, it also
That
weighed
should be
on me
better.
a little bit reading that book. So I was like, you know what? It's time for something more lighthearted. I was gonna say, I said last time I was gonna do one Carl a month, so it was time for part 2. Overall, I think the novelty kind of wore off for me, so I didn't think this one was as strong as the first one. Because it was more, I felt like it was more about like how to game the system and the politics around it than playing the game, if that makes sense. So for me personally, there were a couple bits where I was like, yeah, okay. I still read it really quickly and I still enjoyed it. Like, it's still good, obviously, but I think it's maybe not as strong as the first one. But I have heard a lot of people say that the series really like finds its stride like the further you go. So I'm reading the third one right now. Well, not right now, but like now. And so far I'm so enjoying it. So already the setting for the third book is like way more up my alley and I'm so much more interested in it. So I think the second one is still good to read for the overall development of the story and the way the characters develop. Also, oh my god, the kitty is so cute. Princess Donut. But yeah, for me, the third one already is way more interesting. So I'll let you know next month what I thought of the third book. But overall, yeah, for the second one, I kind of came out of it being like, it wasn't quite what I was hoping to get out of the book compared to the first one. But like I said, the first one really is like it all kicks off and everything is new and exciting. You go from the first book does 2 levels to this second book only does 1 level. So there's also less of a feeling of progression, I
80
think.
seems like a
So I
lot.
kind of had to like
Oh,
settle
I
into
see.
that, which is maybe why at the moment at that time I was like, I didn't like it as much as the first one. But now the third one, I'm into it. I really
No,
like
give
it.
it back.
But I won't say more about that one until our next book talk.
79 seems good.
Then I went to Mirror
84.79.
Drowning Deep. I have tried to read this one earlier, like way back. I think before I even did any recap videos. And I couldn't get into it. I read like 2 chapters and I was like, oh, this is not for me right now. And then
79.
put it away. And then it came up on the wheel again. And I was like, you know what? I should just read it, get it over with, get it off my list. And it did that thing that I talked about before. I think I talked about it with the Queen Bee book, if that's the name, from Nick Cutter. It gives away too much of the mystery right at the start of the book, if that makes sense. So it's about a film crew that wants to prove that mermaids exist. So they set out to a certain point in the ocean and the crew all disappear, but they've left their footage of what they recorded. And then the book is about a second crew that's going to go there and prove it once and for all, where I'm like, well, you already have for one, you already have the like documentary footage. You have already footage of mermaids. So you've already proved that they exist. Like, to me, they exist. You don't have to.
I didn't switch my category, did I?
So, like the whole second crew being like, we have to prove that they exist.
I love it.
We
I love
already
it when
know
it
they
doesn't
exist.
split.
So the whole mystery is gone. I was like,
I
I
love
would
it
have
when
much
I don't
rather
split.
had it so that the second crew goes to the same spot where the original crew disappeared to hopefully find more about it. Like, I wish they hadn't shown us in the book footage of the mermaids.
Correct category now.
This is the first like chapter of the book. It's not a spoiler. And then the second crew goes out after them to prove that mermaids exist, because no one wants to believe it. And I'm like, sure, I can understand that the world will be skeptical, but as a reader of this book, I'm like, I don't give a shit, because you already showed me that they're real, so I know exactly what's going to happen. You're going to go there, mermaids are going to kill people, and then you're going to be like, oh shit, and that's literally what happens. So I really didn't like the layout of this book. I really felt like the whole time I was reading this, I was like, yes, I know what you're trying to build up to. I already read about it. I know that it's just going to repeat, and then it does. So I thought this was very boring. I've read her zombie books, Feed, Deadline. I think the first one might be Deadline, and I think that one is better personally, but I've read it so long ago that I honestly don't really remember the specifics. But yeah, I could not really get into this one. I was kind of just like going through the motions trying to finish this book, but I didn't really get any enjoyment out of it because it's just like a personal pet peeve with how pacing goes. And I felt like it would have been so cool if they set out, found like a ghost ship of where the crew used to be, and then find the footage and watch it, and then they're like, oh shit, it was mermaids. I feel like that would have been so much cooler. Like, have that mystery in the air for longer. But yeah, just a personal pet peeve in this case, I think. Then I read a super quick book, Exit 8. You know the movie, the game, originally game, made into a movie by Genki Kawamura. He's the director, I think, of the movie. So he also wrote a book when he did the movie, which came out recently. And I have to say, I really enjoyed the book. I think if you liked the game and the movie and you want a little bit more, the book is great. The book gives you just a little bit more backstory, and like it gives you internal POVs of the characters in the movie, so you can like really know their thought processes and why certain anomalies happen as well. Makes more sense. So I really thought this added like a little extra layer to the movie that I really enjoyed, and it was a super quick read, like one afternoon. You'll be through it. So if you like the movie and the game, I recommend this book. Then I finally finished the trilogy, the Stephen King trilogy for what's the trilogy called? Bill Hodgins trilogy. The one before this was Finder Keepers. I forget the first one. Mr. Mercedes, yes, Mr. Mercedes, Finders Keepers, and then End of Watch is the third one. It's the third one that has Holly in it, who then gets her own books after this series. So that's why I wanted to read to this trilogy, and I finally finished it. And I think this third book is the best one in the trilogy, mostly because we finally got supernatural shit going on. So the first two books are by and large just regular thrillers, like cop thrillers, detective books, which they're fine. But I read Stephen King for supernatural shit, and I knew that eventually it was going to be supernatural, so I really was trying to push through to get to this point, and it was worth it. I think this third book really ties everything really nicely together. The supernatural element is awesome. I liked it a lot, and it's really heartfelt at the end. It's nice to see how Holly becomes the person she is in the later books, because I have read The Outsider as well, and she's in that. So I'm really happy that I did read the whole trilogy. Also, this cover is gorgeous. I really like this cover. So yeah, really happy I read it. Good end to the trilogy. If you've read the first one and you're kind of like, oh, I don't know, it is worth it to push through and get to this third book. I think this third book is a really good closure to the trilogy.
No, I just...
Then I read the second Black Winter novel, Secrets in the Dark. Which
I'm
was
gonna spread these out,
unexpected.
I think.
So I talked to you guys that last month about the first part, and I personally thought it was going to stay in the mansion, and they don't stay there at all. So I was a bit homesick reading this. I really kept being like, oh, just go back to the safety of the mansion. So much happens in this, and we got so much more answered than I thought we would about what's going on, and we basically get to learn why this apocalypse is happening and what was patient zero, basically. And like, you basically get all the answers, which is crazy. I didn't expect to get all the answers in part 2 of 4, 5. But yeah, it was not as strong as the first one, I think, because the first one has, again, the mystery, so it keeps you like going to be like, oh, what's gonna happen, what's going on. And this one kind of like just answers everything, so part of me was like, oh man. But by this point, I'm super attached to the characters. I love both of them so much. There's 2 main characters, and they're in love. So I'm just desperately rooting for them to make it and be okay. So at this point, I'm fully committed. I'm going to read them all, obviously. So even though this one maybe
That should
was
be good
not
for now.
as
Let me see
strong
how
as the
that
first one for me,
moves.
I still really enjoyed it.
Whoop.
Still flew
Too
through
big.
it, and I still love them both a lot. Doran especially is such a sweetheart. I like him a lot.
Get
Definitely
smaller?
rooting for Doran.
Get
Yeah,
smaller?
the main character, the lady, was maybe not. She was a little annoying in this one, I have to say. But then again,
Oh my
she
god,
has
why is it like
really
1,000
grief
pixels?
in this book, and that's something that I always have a really. That's pure autism. I have a really
Why
hard
was
time
it like 1,000
um,
pixels?
dealing with like how people
There you
deal
go.
with grief. Like, I just have a hard time. Like, I don't know. I don't have a hard time empathizing with people.
That's
This is
not
hard to
bad.
explain.
I like that.
But
I like the way
I
that
do
moves.
have a hard time
For
like, when people lash out
for a
because of
basic
grief. I'm like, why the fuck would you do that?
a
Like,
basic
none of it makes
movement.
sense. But I don't understand their
I think that'll
motivations
be
or
what
the reasons they lash out and
I
do
mainly
certain
use on
things
it anyways
in the
is
name of grief.
a
But
basic
it's also
movement.
just purely me and my autism, and that I do the exact opposite. I would just like withdraw in myself and not interact with anyone and just become like a blank slate, basically. So I'm just like the opposite end, you know, of how people deal with that kind of stuff. So I think that's why I couldn't really relate to that in the book. But yeah, still really like them as characters and some really interesting.
Wanted to see if it would generate me a decent outline, but I don't think it does.
Really a fan of. So I'm excited to see where they're off to for the next one, which I'm gonna read this month then. So we have part 3 in the next book talk. I think I like that. I like doing like one book in a series every month, like I'm doing with Dungeon Crawler Crawl. So I might do that for some other stuff as well. Then this was a tiny book as well. I went back to the origins of Hellraiser, you know, the movies. So Hellraiser, the first movie, was based on this book, which Clive Barker, he wrote the book and he directed the movie. So it was very interesting to go read this book that was written so long ago and see like what the original thought process was, how he originally created Hellraiser and what it was before it became a movie. And there's some interesting changes, like the girl in the movie, I think she has a boyfriend in the movie, if I remember correctly. And this one, she doesn't. She's completely by herself, which I actually really preferred. I really liked this little book. If you like Hellraiser, I definitely recommend this first little book. He's written 2 more Hellraiser books, but then when I looked into them, everyone says they're really bad. So I think we're good just reading this first little book and being like, that was nice. Same with Exit 8. It's really nice if you like the movie part to read the book and get like a little more depth, like an extra layer of depth to the story. I really enjoyed this. It was awesome. I like Hellraiser. Then I closed off the month, I think this is the last one, yes, with Burn the Negative by Josh Winning, which I've read Heads Will Roll by him before, which was like an axe slinging slasher. That one I really enjoyed, so I was like, let's see what else you've written and how this is. I really enjoyed it, but I think I liked the setting of the slasher more than this one. So this one is about the movie that's haunted, and the kid actor that was in that movie is coming back to LA as a reporter because someone is rebooting the movie as a TV show. She kind of gets forced into going, but she is worried about the curse coming back, so she kind of like wants to like poke around and see what's happening. And of course, the crew and actors start dying. So she's like, it's the curse. I did really enjoy it, but some of the character motivations, the ending was actually interesting. At first, I didn't really like the ending, the direction it went in. But now in hindsight, I'm like, I do really like that this book did something different. It wasn't like it followed like a standard path throughout most of the story, but then by the end it kind of like went somewhere I didn't expect. So I did really like it for that. But there isn't as much like, it says Burn the Negative, which they do. They try and find the original movie reel of the original movie she was in as a kid and try and burn it. And all the stuff that happens around that and the curse is really cool, but I think overall it didn't really grab me. I think there's other haunted media movies that are books, haunted media books that are a little more gripping than this one. So I wouldn't give it like you have to read this kind of reviews. If you really love haunted movies, movie curses and stuff, then it is a fun book to get into if that's your kind of like niche that you're into, haunted media, which I really like. That's why I read it. But I think there's better ones out there. Let me do a quick, hold on, let me see. I think there is Mr. Magic. Yeah, Mr. Magic by Kirsten White, I think is a good one. It's a bunch of kids who used to be in a TV show that is said to be haunted, and then they come back as adults to talk about it. That one is good. And then there's Rotten Tommy as well, by Sodergren. That one's good. There's also Silver something from the lady who wrote Mexican Gothic. Silver Nitrate, yes. I would recommend those books over Burn the Negative, I think, if you like haunted media stuff. Wake Up and Open Your Eyes, really good haunted media. Episode 13, of course, can't forget about that one. The Handyman Method, YouTube videos and stuff. Yeah, there's a ton of books I can think of that I'm like, read that one instead, you know? So any of those are solid recommendations, I would say. But yeah, that was my June. Okay, so let's see. I would still say Doomsday Scenario, Carl's Doomsday Scenario is still A. It's still really good, honestly. Didn't like it as much as the first one, but that just means first one's as
I wasn't going to, but I think I need to.
D for Mirror
Not
Grant.
for these ones, though.
I would say A for Exit 8. I loved it. Maybe C for Burn the Negative. Let's see. What else do I have?
This should probably curl that.
Some solid reads, honestly, for this month. If I had to pick one favorite read of this month, it might still have to be Carl, honestly. I do think it's like I know I was like, it's not as good as the first one, but it's still obviously really good. And if I have to pick, like looking back at this month and these books, then that is still the best one out of all of them, I think. Yeah, this one, Exit 8, yes, really good. Yeah, Clive Barker B. Maybe this one on A. I do think this really wrapped it up so nicely. Yeah, I think this is what I'm gonna settle on. So, my best read of the month, Carl.
Not even, but
2 movie reads that were both solid and really short reads. If you want like a quick read, then this was also
it gives me the little bit of physics that I want there,
which was fun.
Controls.
These were a bit more like took me a bit more of a struggle to get through, and then this one was just like I did not. It wasn't terrible, obviously, but it was just not for me, you know?
Control
and there were still some really cool action sequences, but there was also just some stuff these characters did that I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, they were safe in their room at one point. Like 4 of them, I think. At one point, they're like, we have to get out there. Let's go towards the kitchen, because then we can barricade ourselves in there, and then we at least have food, and we can last longer. And I'm like, yeah, I can see that happening. And then on the way to the kitchen, they get interrupted, they get attacked, so they go off course, and then they never bring up the kitchen again. I'm like, wasn't the point of getting there to get food to survive? But yeah, mostly because it just gave away the mermaid secret right off the bat. So I was just like, why would you give away the hook of the book immediately? So there you have it. That was my June.
I will need one extra side to these lines.
If you've read some of these, let me know what you thought of them. If you read any of the books that I've recommended in the earlier months, let me know. I also hope that you guys like my recommendations. I've heard some nice stuff from people about the Black Winter books from Darcy Coates. Other people also really like them, and they said that like the second and third books, the third book especially is good, I think, so I'm excited to get to that. But yeah, for now, this is it. Thank you so much for tuning in for another month of what I've read. And hopefully I'll see you guys next month. But if I haven't gotten through many books, then it might have to wait a second month. But hopefully I can get enough read this month. If I read 7, I'll do a video. So fingers crossed. And thanks for watching. Hey everyone, welcome to another book talk. It's a little late this month. I have actually done a lot of...
I'm just gonna let it play through this playlist.
But I kept thinking, oh, I'll do another book time, like next time I'm live, and then I was traveling.
Oops, I need to actually...
Like in a weird energy where I kept thinking, oh yeah, I'll stream tomorrow, and then tomorrow came, and then I was like, I don't really want to stream. So we're gonna just do a recorded one this time. Sean was traveling for pretty much all of May, which meant I had loads of time to read. And let me do a count of how many books I read. I wonder. I'm curious. So I started the month with ninth house. 1, 2, 3, 10, 11, 12. So I read 12 books for the month of May.
That's what I want.
Back in business, baby. All right.
That
So
should
I
look
started
okay.
with Ninth House by Lee Bardugo. It's been on my list
Can
for
I-
a long time, and I actually started it once, read like the first chapter or two.
The lines are a little wonky at
Kind of
part,
like a chunky semi-fantasy book.
but they don't go
I say
outside each
semi
other,
as in
so that's the
it's
important thing.
Semi-fantasy horror, dark fantasy maybe, because it's all about the dead and seeing the dead and necromancy and stuff like that. But yeah, I put it down one time.
I
So
didn't
was
do
like,
the back.
I'm not really in the mood for
That
this
needs
right
to
now. And
be
it came up on my wheel
little.
again because I let the wheel pick for me randomly. And I was like, oh, you know what? Why not? I was hoping that this book would pull me out of my reading slump, and it did. I had a great time with this one. I loved all the different aspects of magic, how it was run on this university site. I love the main character, Alex. She's great. These schools, these houses, they do magic, but magic attracts the dead because the dead are attracted to anything lively. So they actually shy away from graveyards and such, and they go to where there's house parties and magic, where stuff is lively. So these houses want to do magic, but they can't see, no one can see the dead. Alex is special, she can see the dead. So she gets kind of like hired in a way to keep an eye out for any dead people while these rich snobs do their magic, and she has to like keep them at bay. And of course, while she's trying to do that job, there's a ton of conspiracy and other stuff going on. But I don't want to give too much away. But if you like magical schools, but a bit on the darker side, I would say this is great. Really, really enjoyed it. And that is why after this...
Hello! Welcome on in.
Immediately.
We're chilling.
Which is
listening to some YouTube
but the reason I
videos.
wanted to read this one is it left the
Doing
first
some
book
Live2D
one branch of the story unsolved,
mesh work.
and it was my favorite branch of the story. So I was like, "Oh God, I need to know how
since
this
that's such a simple
resolves."
line, I might
So
be
just
able to
read
just
the next one immediately, and it was just as good.
connect
They
those
fit really well
lines.
together. They're really consistent.
How are you doing today?
Alex gets better at managing the schools and her powers. Just really fun and hell-bent, so they're gonna mess around with certain dimensions they maybe shouldn't, and it would be better to stay out of. They're under scrutiny of the wrong kind of people / demons. I thought it was amazing. I don't want to spoil too much. I don't want to give too much away, but it's basically just a continuation of the first one. You can pretty much just read them back to back like I did. And yeah, just if you like magic, if you like necromancy, darker stuff, this is a really fun one. And I can't wait for part 3 coming out in September. So I'm ready. I'm ready for part 3 to
Did
come
I
out.
connect those?
Immediately.
She's a
But yeah,
YouTuber. She looks familiar.
like,
Yes, it is Gab Smolders.
Reading horror mostly. I know this is also horror, but it's like a different branch, you know? This was more like...
I watch a lot of her stuff.
That's about all I want to say.
To chill out.
Very excited for the third one. Definitely.
She has a second channel where she talks about like
that part amazing.
books and stuff like that.
But for the people who haven't read it yet, if you want like a darker fantasy, if you like, I also really like the Magician.
Pretty good. I talked to Google AI. Pretty trippy.
If you like that one, I feel like this is right up your alley, and you'll enjoy this one as well. Then I found this in the bookstore. A new Chapman. I really like playing.
Did I merge these two? I don't think I did.
I would say this one I maybe didn't enjoy as much. I picked it up because it was like a quite short book. And it's Chapman. I'll give it a shot, you know, not knowing anything.
I did not.
And it's from the POV of a serial
Find
killer.
them.
And the girls he kills are his bodies of work.
Well, maybe not find them actually. Hold on.
Butterflies.
Because I need.
And they need to get their wings, so he's doing them a favor. So it's really twisted.
I need to find the outside of it.
From the perspective of a killer and how he justifies killing. Yeah.
But not the center of it.
There were some parts in it where I was really into it and reading it, but it was also quite confusing. It flips between his POV, the girls who got murdered, their ghosts' POV, which you're not sure whether it's like his imagining of them or
what is this?
Their actual ghosts. And then there's also
I am working on my Live2D model. So
it jumps around quite a bit. And I think it really shows how good of an author Chapman is, that he's able to write. It's a perfect writing.
So like this is my model. Where it's like it is going to be an animated version of me, essentially.
Really impressive, but
and
really my cup of tea.
the structural thing you're doing, it's the mesh. So when I go to move it, so you see all these little dots, that is the mesh of the actual like art that I have there. So if I move it around, you can see that little circle of colors and stuff that's moving. That is the artwork. I'm essentially putting all these dots so that the computer knows what to move in that sense. For the glass, yeah. I'm trying to... I have 2 layers to it. So one is a glow layer that makes it like a lighter prismatic. And then the other is a standard lens. That's just the base lens. They're the same colors, but because they're supposed to be a prism, I have 2 of them so that I can get that prism effect later. So I need to bind the outsides of them, but not the center of them, so that I can move it differently. Maybe that's actually... Maybe I should not bind them, though.
That in itself is really good.
That way I can rotate it. Because I technically can't rotate it now. But they're already different angles. And a prism doesn't really like rotate. It just... you see different depths of it. So that should be fine. I think it'll be okay. Because I left the center unbinded.
To them just being like, let's die in the house, and then
I'll have to figure it out, though.
And that's not the way it went. But I kind of feel like that would have been maybe a cooler ending. But yeah, if you like the
I did some basic Photoshop.
So definitely easy to
so I did some the kids are really innocent and really I did some Photoshop basic modifying stuff. What are you using here? I'm thinking about trying PC art for real stuff. This is Live2D. So
it's a cool concept. But yeah,
it's a Japanese program. It's mainly for like, it's essentially After Effects. If you could have like After Effects tied to parameter tracking, you can set animations and things like that, and then tie them to motion controls, essentially.
I have to take a moment to be like, wait, what happens again in this one? Because Thin Air I can remember immediately. It's like a group of mountain climbers try and scale a mountain that is cursed. And now I'm like, wait,
make sure I have all my angles correctly.
So this is a group of guys.
This is one that I have done.
Survey.
So this is just a head
but it's more
Z turn.
It's not like they're exploring or anything.
If I
to be like, we're gonna do temperature measurements.
go to physics,
Like they don't want to do.
I think that's the only thing I have left rigged right now. Because I reset a bunch of stuff.
They already lose 1 or 2 people, and
that little movement in the eyes there is the eye tracking. Because the character's eyes are closed, it's just like a little thing. But
like they refuse to stay there tonight. They don't want to help them.
There's a little bit of facial animation in there so far too. Oh, you can't see any of that. Hold on.
Yeah, whatever. We don't believe in that kind of hokey pokey shit.
Hold on. I forgot that.
Gets hurt. One of them goes with the hurt guy to get. They get picked up and he goes to the hospital. So
there we go.
One guy is like,
so this is the facial tracking. I forgot that I have my chat up there. You can see that now.
And just come back in like 2 weeks. But it's that time they're so high up north.
And it has that like Z-axis turn too.
Paranoid, and it's about him surviving that completely by himself in ice conditions. Super paranoid. Why
go for parameter tracking? Are you animating, or is it useful for building a single image?
And how to cope with that kind of stuff, like feeling watched.
You were doing kind of both. I am not sure how exactly to explain it.
I would say between
it's not a single image. It's more so like where After Effects you are kind of creating a video animation. This is like you have a living animation. Like it's meant to be live tracking, so setting parameters for it within like reasonable angles and stuff like that.
It's a bit different
Like you
from
can
my usual.
see I have
normally don't really like when it
these
goes
labeled
too far
angle
back in time,
X,
just because
Y, and
gender
Z.
roles, like women can't do much when you
Those
go
are like
too far back
basic
in time, and women
face
are all like,
tracking
"Oh my god, my
parameters.
frail body, I can't do anything."
That is meant
And
to
this is for
be
tall men,
the
so
main
it's
way
not really
that the
interesting.
parameter translates the
Now,
animation into a
Dear
movement,
Celeste, I forget
if that
which
makes
one
sense.
this is. I think this is the
I can probably pull up a video
one.
really quick
Yeah, I think this is the third one. I think there's
to
five.
show you
So I still have more to read.
a better
This is
explanation.
really good. If you've given Erickson a
Hold on.
try and you've read the first Celeste, just know that it's
What's it called? Showcase. So it's more for building a function than learning how to draw for a start. Yeah. You have layered art already. So like all of these are different layers that are once animated together get you movements like this with all the parameter tracking and things like that. But all the layers are drawn separately and then animated in Live2D to create these kinds of functions. No, it's just a simple little showcase of that. Whoop, wrong one.
just know that it's consistently the same, so you can safely read the others. There's some really good personal life developments for Celeste in the second and third book that are really interesting, almost more interesting than the actual hauntings and stuff that she investigates. And in the third one, it gets really personal, where she looks into the disappearance.
So I'm doing the basics right now
home at the lake
and
starts
setting things up from the start. I've already drawn all the art. Obviously, there's like a full model.
Strongest one, just because it was so personal for Celeste.
And these are all individual parts. So if I click one, that's a part.
And like I said, some other personal life
that's a part
in the book. I was just like, gasp.
That's so a part by itself.
So yeah, I am definitely gonna read this series to the end. But for now, I was very satisfied by reading another one.
So it's more like 3D modeling program. It is. It's much more like
excited.
It's creating a 3D puppet for you to take 2D images into and use those as your model.
My Dear Dreadful Thing. And between the two,
my little brother used to do scenes in Gaia.
This one really had me going like,
wow, I haven't thought about Gaia. Maya or Gaia? One of those two. And forever.
It also really gave me the vibes of Mexican Gothic. If you like that one, you'll definitely like this one. Yeah, I did have some issues with like the time period being what it was, a bit older, and then like the women wear their super constricting dresses, and like it's all about appearance, and like you have to say the nice things, you have to really control all of your emotions, blah blah blah. Which I'm always like, oh, rolling my eyes.
I should be able to get from there.
But I did feel like it was a bit weird in this.
How am I doing on time? Like, I got about 30 minutes.
Gay stuff in it, which is awesome, and they were cool with gay stuff in it. But at the same time, I'm like, given the time period, though, like I feel like if these women are all actual Christian women from that time period, they wouldn't just be like, oh, you're gay? No, fine by me. Like, if you're actually religious in the 1800s or whatever it was, I'm like, I feel like that would be a bit more,
you build them here or modify layers and behavior.
But I mean, obviously,
I guess this is essentially the building of it too.
I feel like if you're gonna go,
you have to do any of the art in another program. So like you would do it in probably Photoshop. I did mine in Clip Studio. Any drawing program really would do, as long as you can like
from the time period
preserve the separate layers and export it into a Photoshop document, like a PSD file. Because Live2D only translates PSD files into working files for the program.
Kingfishers. What's that one called again? feed.
you
wonder if
can
that's something
technically make all of the
one would fit in.
layering,
Yeah.
like
Thinking
organize all of the
pieces of
layering in
Live2D is
Live2D,
part 2. No,
but
I'm thinking of
it
Roof
preserves the
Ahead,
layers from the
Mexican Coffee.
PSD,
If you like those,
so they have to
this is the
be
book for you.
usually prearranged already.
the Oh yeah, I
It's
totally forgot.
mainly
The
for creating
audiobook
the
was
tracking
really good.
behaviors and things like
So
that.
while Sean was traveling, I was taking all my walks by myself, so I listened to the audiobook as well as reading them.
They're pretty much
And this is
functioning as 3D models based on a
this is
2D
the
one.
opening bit, the opening page
Sort
of
of.
this book.
It's not exactly a one-to-one.
I didn't think it was possible to experience such pain and live.
Because
I feel like taking a spoon to my eye and scooping it out. Anything to make it stop.
I don't know how to
Make it
explain it.
stop. Make it stop. Please make it stop.
I'm technically
Am I crazy?
a much more like
So
beginner.
good.
Well, maybe not beginner,
yeah,
like
the
intermediate.
audiobook was legit
I don't
really
understand
good,
like the
except for how
full
she pronounced the Dutch names.
function to
It was so
function
weird to me.
aspects of it.
Maybe it's a time period thing.
But,
Honestly,
like,
I actually don't
I
know.
could
But
do pretty much anything
most of the
I
names she was really pronouncing
was
really
trying
well,
to do in the
but then
program,
Michael would come
if that
up.
makes
In
sense.
Dutch, we just say Michael.
But
I'm sure back in those
compared to
days, though, he would.
3D as well, I would
She
say
supposed to, every time his name was mentioned, she said
Live2D
Michael.
treats
And I
it
was like,
like it's a
that's not
3D
Dutch, right?
camera,
So every time she said
but
Michael, I was just
you are
like,
only
what?
working in
That's the
2D
only thing. Like,
layers.
otherwise,
There's
the
no
book was
like
really, really good. The audiobook.
turning the model to the side or anything like that.
Oh
If you were
yeah,
gonna
and
do
then I
that, you would have to
finally read
create
Western
the
Comics.
art layers
Wow,
to do that.
this series is
And
hyped like crazy.
like
So I was like, okay, let's see,
modify
I'll
the
check it out. I'm
layers
very curious.
with the meshing
And I
and
really
the
enjoyed it.
parameter to animate
I had to
a
get used
turn.
to the type
You
of
wouldn't
humor
physically be able
at
to
first
turn
because it was a bit
like layers of the model.
intense. Like it mentions like everything you could possibly.
Do you have to
think of.
animate
It
the
tries
mid
to
frames, or
cram
does the
into
program
humor.
extrapolate?
So it's
It
very like
usually
a
extrapolates
lot.
them. So like if I put
But there were so many things.
hold on, let me finish this mesh really
apart
quick.
from that I just really enjoyed. The setup is great, like how he can't find any shoes.
I can
he's
do
not wearing pants 'cause
simple
he wasn't thinking about
little
obviously ending up in a dungeon.
showcase of
He
it
was
for
just
you.
outside trying to get his cat to come back in. So he's only wearing like a leather jacket and boxers.
So like
when the apocalypse happens,
I
put in this
did
dungeon to fight with his
the
cat.
head.
Love the cat.
I'm gonna
As
hide a
you
bunch
know
of
now,
stuff, so
Aubrey's
it's gonna
my
be
favorite character.
just
How
the
could you
base of the
not?
head.
Her Majesty. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think this is a great book if you enjoy like stuff like Sword Art Online, solo leveling. It's very much about like it's very gamified. The dungeons he has to do. He needs to like fight enemies to get XP.
So like if I took
achievements and
this
stuff.
head base,
It's really
I'm
gamified,
gonna
which I
create
really enjoyed actually.
the X
But
angle,
for
which
the
is the
sake of
left to
writing,
right.
I'm limiting myself
I just
to
created
one
3
dungeon crawler
keyframes
per
to
month.
it.
So
The far
beginning
left
is just
one
like,
will be turned
so
to the
this month I
left.
read all of
The
them.
far right one will
I'm
be
gonna talk
turned to
about
the
it.
right.
But no, I super enjoyed it.
And to do that, I'm gonna go
because he doesn't
here.
have shoes or pants when he comes in. The
I'll move
dungeon
this
AI who runs the
to
show
the left.
thinks it's
And
so
now
easy that it's just never
all
gonna
of
give
these
him any
dots are gonna let me
pants or
modify
anything. So he gets
this
a toga,
turn
he gets a pedicure set and stuff, but it actually
so
gives him
that
buffs as well. I don't know. I just find
I
as
can
someone who
essentially
is
like
kinda like RPG and
liquefy
games, it's just really funny.
the
It's really
art
well written.
to give
So
me
if you're looking for a good game
the
book,
look
this
that I
is it.
want for the head
And
turn.
then I found the boogeyman under my brother's crib. Before you say anything about the AI, about the cover, if it is AI, he is in the process of replacing all of his covers with actual artwork. So this is just a copy I had.
Like that.
This is a super
It's
small,
really bad.
like tiny. So Farthing has this I Found series. They're all super tiny books. They're like 70, 80 pages tops. Of like little snippets of I found something horror.
That's a basic
this one
head turn
had
to
a
the
very
left.
good twist. I really enjoyed it. It may be the very
So you have
end
it
that, like,
extremes at least,
okay,
more or
it's a
less.
bit silly,
I
but
didn't have to do all of these little
this was really,
in-between
really
parts
good.
where
I enjoyed
like
this a lot. I think my favorite
it's getting this
one is
little
still
motion here, and I can
one.
stop at any point
I found
here,
puppets
just like
living
on the
my
line.
walls. I think that's still
But
like
if
really
I
the strongest one. The Christmas
go
one's great too.
into
They're all good. I have to say.
physics,
Perfect for reading slump stuff as well because they're so short. They're little snippets of horror.
hold on.
Really fun. Then I turned my eyes to Victorian Psycho because I heard this is being made into a movie, and I've had it on my shelves for a while.
And I just let it run.
It was a very short read as well. I think It might be better as a movie. I think this would work better as a movie.
It's not gonna
Again,
do it.
The time
Hold
period
on.
is like a little bit of a pet peeve of mine, but it was really cool because it's like this lady who's trying to be this perfect, not a maid, but like she
Let me
watches over
reset.
the kids, nanny. She's
So
trying to
it
present
will
herself as the
animate
perfect nanny,
that
but
left
she's
to
actually
right
just a psychopath and she wants
by
to kill
itself. I don't have to do
people.
all the in-betweens. I can
Believe this
move
was
it
very
as
well
far as I
done,
want
so
to.
that was actually
And I can
really surprising.
technically
The
add
stuff that she
extra
pulls off,
frames
I'm
to
like,
that
'cause the
animation if I
idea is
wanted
that
to.
the people she
There
works
is an
with, the higher
option,
class,
like
are
if I
also
add a
snobbish
keyframe in the
and
middle
apprehensive.
here,
They just don't
just a
care,
random
They don't
keyframe.
even look at you. So the shit she gets away with is really
Let's
impressive. It took me a while to get into it properly
did I
because
add it? No.
it
Why
takes
won't I
a
add
long
it?
time for it to escalate, in my opinion. But there were some really good twists and like some deeper layers to the book that I did see coming. Yeah, I thought it was enjoyable, but I think I would enjoy this more as a movie. I was a little bit bored
What
as
is
I was
happening?
reading it, you know? But it wasn't
Oh,
bad.
I see.
That's purely personal stuff.
Hold
Like
on.
again, it's a time period more than anything.
So if I just stop
and then
here, I can add a keyframe
So I
and just
started
move
the
it
Black
there,
Winter series.
and then it'll
This
still
is
like
the first one in the Black
it
Winter
adds
series,
that
Voices in the
to
Snow.
the full
And
animation.
I
So this is the
was
base.
baffled.
This is that random
The first
keyframe.
half of the book
This
was
is the
so
last
good.
part.
It
It's
does
more like you're
weaken a little
creating
bit,
the
but the first
storyboards
half
and the
felt
computer is
super
considering the
unsettling
rest
to
of the
me,
movement for
because I was
you.
just like, what's going on? Is it
Which is part of why you add all the
aliens? Is
meshing
it
and things,
vampires?
so it
Like,
knows
it could be
what
anything. Are
parts
there
of the
ghosts?
model
Is
will
it
be actually
snow?
moving versus which parts won't
I was
really be.
grasping at everything, and I could not for the life of me pinpoint what
You
was
correct the
going on. So I
in-betweens
was
to make a
super
smoother
confused and
transition.
really cool.
There
Because
is
again,
an
this book,
option
you're like, what
for,
the fuck is
you
going
can't
on?
see the little menu that I
So the
have here,
apocalypse happens, and these two people get
but
secluded
there
in, like, a house
is
in the mountains.
extended
A huge house.
interpolation. You need at least 3
It
keyforms
kind of
for
looks
it,
like the house is haunted,
and you can choose
and an
linear,
apocalypse is happening. The world is
Eclipse,
ending.
or SNS. That will get
It's
you more
very
in
unique.
between
I legit
frames,
was
so
like,
you
what the
can
fuck is happening? So I was
make
super
those
excited to read
smoother
the other books.
changes.
There's
But
4,
usually
but I
when
couldn't find them right
you
away. They
have
weren't
like
readily
really stylized
available
models and
in
things like that,
paperback.
you
So I
don't
had
really
to
want
actually
that
order them on the website
anyways.
and wait for like 2
Having
weeks for
the
them to
like
come. So I haven't read the rest yet, but they have arrived now, so I'm
smoother
excited.
frames
So I'll
might
probably
be
get to part 2 soon.
nice
Because
for
there are
something
some
more
endings that seem
realistic,
like super
especially if it's something that
open-ended,
has
where
like
it's like, wait,
a lot of
don't
details that
leave
you're
me
moving on
up here,
top
I
of it
need
or
to
something
know.
like that.
But yeah, Darcy
But
Coast,
for most of them,
weirdly a
it's
mystery.
not
This one's very good as
necessary,
well. I was a bit traumatized
especially
by the
if
Snow book.
like you
But
have
again,
really
didn't
good
know it was
art
this
set
book
up
and
as
didn't read
well.
the other one.
It'll take
It was
into account
awful.
most of what you can animate in that case too.
I think Dead of Winter is my least favorite book of hers.
Let me see.
So I was a bit hesitant about another Snow book, but this one
What
really
is
was
happening?
awesome. This one was right up my alley, and I really loved it. And I loved I won't say anything about what is going on, but I loved
If
the
there's like a
reveal of
specific
what it was
movement
at
that
the
you
end.
want, you can do that. If there is
I
something
don't really
like
have all the answers yet, so I really will have to
like you
read the other
make
books
that
to see
turn
how it progresses
and
and if we
it
get more
like for
answers.
some reason
I
bugs
feel
out or
once
something
you're
like
wanting,
that,
the mystery of like, what the
that's
fuck is
usually
going on?
not
We
like
get
something you
this book,
can
then this will be a
kind
good
of
one for you.
connect. It's more
Then I
so
ended the
sorry,
month.
correct.
We're finally there.
It's more
And
so
it was her house first.
that's probably something
It's another one
wrong
of
with
those
either your mesh
buy
or
a
something like
house
that,
for cheap
and that
until
is
it
like
dies,
creating
and then
bugs in the
person
program
who bought it thinks
for
they
like
can flip it
how
and
it's
sell it
reacting to
or
it.
flip it and live it.
So if there is
She's a
something
very
like
anxious type of person
in those
who
in
wants to be
between
prepared for
parts
any kind of
where you can't
emergency at
set
all
a
times.
keyframe, it's possible that
She's
there's
gonna
just something
obviously
wrong with either the
put
mesh or the way that
anything.
you've animated it that
Yeah, she buys
creates
this house
problems.
that is not clearly
How does it
haunted
work
from
with
the
more
get-go,
complex stuff
but
like walking or
there's
something?
definitely
Does it
like
just blur over or does it fill
retail
out
is like
complex behavior well
lots of people died here.
with few
Because this
keyframes?
kid
It's
said
usually
years
pretty
that no
fine.
one's lived in this house
There's
for
no
long.
blurring
The
or
house is
anything
gonna be
like
a ton
that.
of work, but
Like
she needs a good project because her brother died
it's
not too long
not
ago, and she needs
animating in the
like she
sense
wants
that like
something to really like sink her teeth
you
in.
are
It's parts typical
creating a
comics,
set
but then
animation
there's
and
a lot
it can
of twists
only
to
play
it,
that
if
animation.
that makes sense.
You're
I
creating the
don't want to give too
like
much away, but
possible
she
frames
starts
that it
to dig into
could
the house's
hit
history
in
and
that
finds a diary that every now
amount, and then the
the diary
computer
entries
is
from someone who lived there
considering
way back in the day.
like, oh,
So it's
they
good.
didn't reach this
I enjoyed
full
it.
parameter,
It was her
so
house
there's somewhere in
first.
between here. This is what it looks like. it doesn't like
That was a
blur
really
that
good
information.
reading
It's
book.
still
It
like
was really nice. It was nice to pick
considering
books that had
those
fun
in between
audiobook
frames
side
as well.
on the site.
Sometimes
Like
if you
before
have
reading,
like
like I would
all of that
go
extended
for like
interpolation,
3 walks a
it
day.
can really
Half
bloat
an
the
hour every
model
day. So I'll
though.
do like an hour and a half
So it's not really
audiobook, and
recommended
then
to do all of those
rest
extra
of the day I could do
keyframes.
either
If you
reading a
have
book
something more complex
or
like
read it.
walking and you need to hit certain
So
like
it was really nice, honestly.
motions and things like that, you can do that.
Gone, but it was nice to get the reading done.
But you also have things
And they're
like
all
physics.
good. Like,
There
I
are
didn't
different
really read
physics
any
options that you
stickers.
can
I think these
apply.
were all
You
official
can
books.
create
Somehow I
animations
pulled
for
another one, of
physics.
course, but
So that
so
when a
let's
model
see.
does a certain movement, in that time that
S-rank
it's
for
moving,
these two.
the
Fairy Tale
physics
6 really
will
good. Dungeon Crawler Crawl as well.
essentially play their animation
A-rank
to
for
help make a more
those
natural looking
three.
movement or something like that too. So you can add weight and
Yeah, I'll do an
things like
S-rank for
that
the
to
Darcy.
whatever you're doing.
C maybe for Victorian
It's a really cool
Echo.
program, honestly. It's why a lot of VTubers like have really cool models and
Maybe
things like that.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's my ranking for the month.
Sorry,
Pretty good, right?
I'm getting sleepy now.
So I'm curious to see if you guys pick any of these to read for yourself.
And it's why there's like
Pick
so
your
many
interest.
different
If you want
options and
any-
things like that
If you want to know
for
anything else, have any questions, let me know. There's a dog on
Live2D models, because there's a lot of
and the
different
fact
ways
that
for
there is
people
a
to
dog in
approach
the
it too.
book, I don't think the dog gets hurt. And obviously the cat in Dungeon Crawler Crawl also doesn't get hurt really. There's no like descriptive thing of the cat getting hurt.
So this is more for
animal-wise,
basic
I think
stuff
nothing
more?
to worry about.
Not
In Victorian
really.
Psycho, though, there is a deer that gets its head bashed in with
I know
a
my
rock.
brother's little 3D
and
stuff
there's a
could take
bunny
days.
event
Yeah, it
that
takes a very long
doesn't
time.
hurt, but
Like
it's
I've been
like
working on just the
it's a
modeling
bunny.
for this, I would
That
say in
makes sense?
total
It's not a real bunny. Just so you know. So if you're
around
wondering about that, now you're prepared.
4 days worth
But yeah,
of time.
that is it for my book
And that's not
talk.
including the art.
Sorry, it's
That's
a little
just
late.
including the
Hopefully more
meshing
time
and
next time.
animation. I
might
just
maybe
deleted
create
an animation that I did
group show,
earlier
like group 2 months together,
because I
so
wasn't liking how it was looking anyways.
I might be planning some other content as well for this chapter.
But it's literally something that people
that actually happens.
have commissions open for and things like that.
Enjoyed the books.
So
You guys are
it can get pretty complicated.
Share any good recommendations that you came across, and I will see you guys soon with another.
The way that I'm explaining it is the basics of it, but it can get so much more complicated than that. There's like whole parts of the program that are purely for animation. There's other parts that are like for image animation, things like that. It's all very, very complicated at times. But if you just need the basic, there are ways to just do the basic too. So close that down. Actually, I need to do just that way. That's the whole head. I don't want that. I need this to have phone deformer. Like, I didn't even explain warp deformers or anything. These green grids. These are warp deformers. This is another, like, layer to animating things. You can animate directly onto the mesh, but you can also animate with these. They'll help you get, like, the same movements without having to actually change things on the mesh. Sometimes it's better to not modify the mesh directly in order to save, like, you can only do so many things on so many parameters. So adding warp deformers, these grids, allows you like another layer to do more on more parameters. Like if I tried to use this green grid on more than these head angle options over here, the parameters, then the program would be like, "Are you sure you want to do that? It's gonna take a lot." And then I think at a certain point it just cuts you off from doing that because it's too many conflicting like parameters. So there's a lot. It's got its own complexities and all that. I am going to add this to the left, and then right. No, I should just do the left and then mirror it. So another thing too, I can do like a left motion. I can do motion mirroring and then horizontally. And it'll just do the same motion on the opposite side if I just do the one on the left. Okay. Now we're going to go. And we'll stay there. Honestly, too, there's tons of Live2D tutorials out there. It's such a versatile program that a lot of people try to help people figure out the things that they can do in it. And they have all their own official tutorials too. Space here a bit. No. No. Get off of my screen. Bro. There we go. I don't know why I did that. It's gonna get a little wider at the top. Just a ever so slightly. That actually might be going too high. Yeah, just a little bit. The cheek chub just a little bit. Makes sense considering how the top of the head is closer to the point of view. Yeah. How you doing? Well, come on in. Okay. Let me do that. Select, reset, and synthesize. There we go. That's not too bad either. Dang, it kind of nailed those corners. Oops. I think the lower ones might be a little off. They're not bad. Okay. Now let me get this animated a little bit. How am I gonna do this? Maybe I should actually have that there too. Kind of sucks you have to animate each individual layer separately. Yeah. I could technically do all of it in like a larger warp. But I tried that and it kind of made it look janky. it 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 made it more difficult than I think it would be to just do all of it separately, you know? It would be more sloppy, wouldn't it? Yeah. Something about the way that like doing that makes the uh like side angles especially look is kind of too messy. And part of that is because like when you put all of it in one big mesh, it's animating everything within that is within that like parameter, not parameter, within that deformer. So even if it's something that you didn't necessarily need to move as much as the rest of the stuff around it, it still ends up moving a lot, which makes it look sloppier than it needs to. I'm gonna just do it with its own. This one. This can go down. These can go down. Hello? There we go. It'd be like having to focus on multiple perspectives at the same time. Make it look lower quality. Yeah. No, that's not what I want that to look like. That's probably closer. Oops. I pressed my button again. Okay. X. And I want this to not move exactly the same, but very similar. How do I do this? Actually, I should probably narrow the amount of these that it can move, and that will help. This is something that I'm still kind of experimenting with, having this darker part of the head to create the shadow of the face. So it's probably going to still look a little jank. But it's also just to give something behind certain parts of the rest of the face that's going to be moving. So having to animate each layer definitely gives it personality / artist touch. Yeah. I think too, something that people who like just kind of see hold on, I'm looking for something. Okay. And just kind of see Live2D stuff pass, or when they're looking for riggers but they don't really know, like they just want something animated. They don't consider that like a lot of people approach the way that something ends up looking with all of its layers a little differently from each other. Like there's some people who have really complex art styles that you don't have to do a whole lot of movement with because a lot of the art already like is built really well for 3D. And then there's other people who have like super complex art but also put a lot of like extra physics and stuff in it to make it look a certain way and animate a certain way. It's really cool. It's like its own expression of character, like you said. It's very cool. Let's see. Now this one. That's actually not terrible. That might be okay. I think I need to connect this part. Oops. Whoops. I clicked off of it. This part down a little bit. So it covers more of the wider sides. I don't know about all that. I primarily watch PNG tubers or regular tubers with the face cam. I just sound uncultured past this point about rigging in our styles. No, you kind of got it. I would say you did. Because even with like PNG tubers, those some of the people who have like GIF tubers, just those little ways that they choose to make the character like their expressions look and things like that. Those little differences make a big difference. And the amount of bounce that they put into all of it too. There's some people who have like super bouncy PNG tubers. And some who have like really subtle ones. All those little things kind of add their own personality to it too. Oops, wrong one. Probably get that further in actually. Yeah, that's better. Oops, I did it again. I did it again. Yeah, like how they open their mouth. Seen someone do the pop cat meme. Or they might open their eyes or raise a hand at the same time to indicate they're talking. Exactly. Uh, my design has my model with eyes closed, but every time I blink, you can see my eyes flutter down a little bit. Like they literally change direction, but my eyes are still closed the whole time technically. But because I have that like difference in a blink animation, it adds a little bit of a difference still that expresses the character still really well, but still adds enough like animation so that you know, oh, she just blinked. It's very nice things like that. Or like the raised hand thing too. Like because someone might have a different hand pose or something like that. They might have multiple types of hand poses or things like that. It's all very much about like the way you choose to express it. I fear that if you open your eyes, an eldritch god might be released into the world. You never know. You never know. Maybe it's how I lock in. I open my eyes. It's one of my favorite tropes in anime and stuff like that is the character that's always chill. Oh, is the character that's always chill and has their eyes closed, and then all of a sudden they get serious and their eyes open. Why is it saying that? Oops. Because I'm pressing the wrong button. That's why it's saying that. Oh yeah, like the Fox-eyed villains. Yeah. Gin Ichimaru. Uh there was one there's one in Black Butler too. I can't remember his name, but he's from China and he's kind of a villain, but kind of an ally. He's a good example too. But Gin is also pretty spot on. That being said, I'm not terribly devious in any sense. Oh, because I was choosing mirror motioning. That makes sense. That makes sense why I was doing that. I dropped Black Butler after the first episode. That's okay. Synthesize. There we go. Erase that. Oh, it messed that up. Hold on. Maybe because I didn't have them combined. No, it just kind of messed them up. I don't remember who, but I saw this one PNG tuber where they jumped out of a box when they talked. It was so cute. That sounds adorable. Were they like a little animal or were they like a person? Because there's a couple of animal PNG tubers too who have cute little gimmicks like that. Can't I can't think of any over the top of my head, but I remember thinking of them. There was a little chibi. Oh, people are so unique with like those things too, like how they choose to present those little bits. Ugh, I pressed the wrong button. That's very fun. It's very fun to see what everyone tries out. That's not really correct. It was a girl, if I recall, but I don't know the detail. That's okay. There's a lot of PNG tubers and VTubers out there. What? How am I gonna do this? I've also seen someone be a fish, and the chat would unlock an ability to make the PNG spin. That's so good. The Joel spin. Joel. A fish spin is so good as a meme. There. Funky town. But that's that I think kind of works. Now this, I don't know why it's doing that. It looks like she's got like a long ass chin here. Does not work. Should not be doing that. Whoops. Honestly, if anything, it should be going kind of like this. Crescent moon chin. For real, for real. I'm gonna push this in further. Yeah. And then I have to do this one. Like that. Ah, I see. It's like there's something still missing. That's a little better. I also have to do the color correction on this because this needs to be this darker color down here. Good hydrate, good hydrate. You know what's also a good one? Thank you for the follow. A good save. Saved. I went ahead and did it myself. Thirsty. Yeah. My water is like a pre-bottled water. It honestly tastes kind of weird. It's got like a plastic aftertaste, honestly. Not great. Let me get some water. You go get some yourself. I'll still be here. Maybe. No, I won't. Actually, I'm at my time. I'm at my time limit. Let me finish these head angles, correcting these, and then we'll go to wrap up. I'm doing kind of a short stream today. I'll be streaming again tomorrow morning though. I got off of work. We just changed store hours. I work part-time. So I'm tired as hell. It was kind of a unexpectedly busy day at work, so I used to hate bottled water, but then COVID hit and I quarantined. That's fair. Cold bottled water is a life changer. It was so good. Yeah. Honestly, I still really like Smart Water, the Core Water, and I think it's like Dasani or something like that. It's one of the basic popular ones. But the one I got is like a generic brand. I think it's the Costco one. Hold on. Because I got it from work. Actually, it's the Target one. Is Target technically Costco? Is Costco technically Target? Who knows? What time tomorrow morning? It will be 9 a.m. EST. I think that's correct. And then I'm off on Wednesday. I usually stream on Wednesday, but I'm gonna be off this week because I have an extra shift and I have something I'm doing after. I have an afterwards commitment. But I was gonna do more Live2D, but I might play some game or something. We'll see. I don't know how long that stream will be. It'll probably be at least 3 hours. 9 a.m. EST. Oh, I should not have done that. Do that. And at some point, I want to play Battle Chef Brigade this week. So, that's not too bad. I kind of like that. Sounds good. I don't think I have anything to do tomorrow, but my mom might say otherwise. That's fair too. It is the summertime. Sometimes you gotta do the chores. I did that. What was it? Last week? I had a whole bunch of cleaning in the house to do. Because otherwise I'm just chilling. It's too hot to do anything. Tomorrow morning, I have work in the evenings. I usually work morning to evening, and then if I stream on a work day, I stream after work in the evening. I also post schedules and stuff like that on my socials, so that's actually not too bad. Let me see how that looks in the physics really quick. You won't be able to see this window because Live2D is weird like that. Me too, because I have to deep clean my room. Not the closet. That area scares me. Dude, same. My closet is honestly kind of a mess. I have some clothes just like falling out of it. I have some stuff on the rack like it should be. I have some stuff in drawers like it should be. But most of my stuff is just in a hamper, honestly. It's not ADHD. It just makes it more convenient to do nothing. To do the simplest solution. But I'm trying to get better about it. The only thing, the nice thing about my closet is that it's small enough. The only thing that I can put in it is like a few miscellaneous boxes that I'm trying to keep, and then all of my clothes. Like nothing else will fit in there. Like if I tried to store something in there, it just would not work. So that's the one nice thing about my closet, honestly. But otherwise, it's a mess in there. Those aren't too bad, those head angles. Once I think I get the eyes on there, I'll probably have a better idea of how it looks too. But honestly, I think that works. I'll do the little tone correction on the multiply layer first, so I can get that correct. I have so many clothes that I keep because the pieces are nostalgic, or my mom spent an ungodly amount of money on them and would chew me out if I put them in a Goodwill box. Secondarily, because it isn't the season to wear half the stuff. Yeah, dude. I have so many, like, mid to long sleeve shirts, and I can barely wear any of them. It's always super humid and hot where I am, south. And if I don't, like, still wear them when it's hot out, then I never wear them. It's the unfortunate thing. But sometimes, it's hot enough inside of the building where I work that I can bring a jacket, and then I have a reason to wear it. Is that correct? Pretty close. Still kind of, it's actually kind of red. You can barely see it, but there's a slight pink tone to it that it shouldn't have. Maybe if I go orange. Nope. If I go purple. Purple's a little better. That's a little closer. Actually, I think that's further from where I had it. That's probably better. It's still kind of off-toned, but I think that's okay. As long as it's closer. Do 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 do. Yeah, that's not too bad. That works. That works for now. All right. Let me save again. Blech, blech. Haven't seen the whole body the whole time and generally thought I was comically buff. No. Those are part of the jacket. So the jacket, it looks white, but technically it's prismatic. I have to figure out the clipping for it so that let me see. So that this prismatic texture can be overlaid over top of it. But I haven't figured that part out yet. But that's the full body. The prismatic also includes like the fur down here and the hair up there. So I gotta figure it out. But that's the full body. Let me put the face back on. How about that? Horn. Uh, where is it? Where is it? There we go. There's the bangs. There's that. There's that. There we go. Face all clean. All back. Excellent. Let's see. That's not terrible. I thought it was gonna look worse than that, but I mean, it's still pretty busy. But I think I have to fix some of these still. I'm looking at the meshes right now to see where I am, just so I have an idea next time of what I need to fix. Oh, right, there's some lines over here I still have to do. this is basically all of the webbing that actually moves the art pieces. So I have the boxes, these boxes that let me make movements, but also uh the thing that's actually moving the art is all these little webs. It gives me like little shapes to pull from, and that translates to the box what it should be moving. The box just gives me bigger movements with all of it and helps protect the art from getting weird artifacting and stuff like that. Like creating little triangles where it shouldn't. All right. Save. Save. Last save. And I'm gonna switch to chat. Do 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 do. Okay. So, like I said, stream tomorrow morning. Uh, uh, no stream Wednesday, and then Thursday in the morning again. How many of those novels in the back are BL? Not very many. In fact, I don't think any of them technically are. Let's see. I have Hell's Paradise, Dress Up Darling, Do Your Eternity, Witch Hat Atelier, Dungeon Meshi. I can't remember the name of that series. And I can't remember the name of that series. But those are also all of my like actual manga back there. Like I literally took a picture of my shelf and edited it onto these books in the back. I don't actually think I think I only have like 1 or 2 BL series. I'm not very much of a Fujoshi anymore. A lot of my friends still are. And I still on occasion read it digitally. But honestly, digitally is a much easier way to read BL than getting physical manga. Pretty much everything else physical is easy to get, but BL has only really become more accessible in the last couple of years physically. I see TBHK. um, I also have uh my figures back there, so I would enlarge the background, but then I think my computer would start to slow down. I have some Miku figures. I have Dogs, Bullets, and Carnage. Shiro Mio is one of my favorite artists, so I have uh all of the Dogs series there, and then his art book as well next to that. And then I have a bunch of acrylics. All of the stuff, honestly, in this picture that's like merchandise and stuff like that is my IRL stuff. I'm gonna be getting an update to my chatting screen, um, probably by the end of the month. I'm commissioning someone for it at the moment, and I'm gonna be taking away most of the licensed stuff because I'm worried about eventually getting told, "Hey, you can't have our stuff on display there." So, I'm gonna be getting a new chatting screen with less official stuff on it, but hopefully still kind of nerd vibe. We'll see. We'll see how it looks. What else do I have to say today? I can't remember. Is it the same bookshelf, but you crop the book to become angled or shorter or taller and multiplied it a few times? I actually took there's like a brush on Clip Studio that lets you like create a line of books. And so I did that on some shelves a bunch. Well, I drew the shelves. I didn't take a picture of my actual like bookshelf. And then I put used that brush to create like a bunch of books, and then I multiplied. Well, no, I don't think I multiplied. I think I just clipped it over those fake books and multiplied it a bunch of times, duplicated it a bunch of times to get the effect. Because a lot of them, if you look at it long enough, are very similar. Because I think there's maybe only 2 different shelves, and I like put them next to each other sometimes, or like flip them the other way sometimes, that kind of stuff. I think there's even a couple where I like miscropped them over top of each other, just to give it some more variety. Let's get over here. More personality, indeed. Exactly. Like I said, at some point this week, I'm gonna play uh Battle Chef Brigade, which is kind of like a side scroller platformer roguelite. I would say it's kind of like Castlevania if it was a dungeon crawler and there wasn't vampires. That sounds sick. Yeah. I think I'm probably making it sound cooler than it is. I remember it being a pretty cool game back when it came out. I've played a little bit of it before. It's published by Adult Swim, I think, technically. Um it's pretty old at this point. Not like super old, but like mid 2000s old. Let me see. But essentially, you hunt different little monsters, make meals out of them, in like a head-to-head chef battle. It's like also, what did you say the name was? It's Battle Chef Brigade. Uh, if you, what's the show that Gordon Ramsay does? It's like that if it was monster meats and uh like roguelite elements and like puzzle elements. It's a really neat little game. Honestly, the art too is kind of really nice. It's got a cool little story going on, all of it. Hell's Kitchen, yeah. Kind of like that. Well, no. I think it's Master Chef actually. I think it's more like Master Chef. Is that the Gordon Ramsay? Is that also Gordon Ramsay or is that a different one? I can't remember. It's kind of like Hell's Kitchen, but you don't have like a team of cooks with you. You're just solo cooking and going head to head against other characters. It's really good though. I really enjoyed it. I think the story is sweet and the battles were fun from what I remember. It had a nice tension mix between all of it. I need to close this. Whoops. I clicked something I didn't need to. Master Kitchen. That's also Gordon Ramsay as one of the judges. Yes. That's the one I was thinking of. So it kind of gives those vibes, but in like a fantasy world. It's very fun. Very cool. Let me see if Ranger is going to be live for a little bit more. He's at 2 hours. He's playing Castlevania, so I'm going to raid over there. Let me open over here so I have it ready. Oh, I clicked off. We're going to get ready to raid here. I will maybe see you tomorrow if you're up for it. I'll be streaming most of the morning, I think. I'll start off with a little bit of Monster Hunter 2, so if I do end up playing a game after that, it'll probably be like Grand Blue or something like that. I'm currently learning Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, which is the fighting game Grand Blue. Because I am taking part in something that I don't know if it has been properly announced yet. But we're essentially doing beginners first fighting game stuff, so that's essentially why I'm playing that one. I might run through some basic practice stuff tomorrow with that, though, if I don't feel like doing more art. So we'll see what I end up doing. For now, we're gonna raid over to Ranger, who is playing Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'm getting ready. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.